Alrighty, welcome guys. This is PoGo NYC coming at you with another video. It's William. So today we're going to talk about today's, unfortunately, the last day of the legendary birds. Now, the first three legendary birds to come out were Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, and Lugia. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on how I think it went with the birds, what they could have done better, what they didn't do so well on, what they did well on, and all of that. So stay tuned, guys. Alright, so starting tomorrow, we're probably going to have the new birds, the new legendaries coming in, and it's like in NYC, I don't know what it is, but they mess it up in that the birds don't come out the day that it's set to release. The legendaries, I mean, they'll come out the day that it's set to release. But hey, what can you do? They're still coming. So for the legendary beasts that are coming up, we have Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. They're going to come out tomorrow. My thoughts, I mean, they're pretty cool. They're a lot better, in my opinion, than the birds, and like they look cooler and they're more, I don't know. I like dogs, so perhaps it's a bias, but I really like them more than the birds, and I'm really excited for Entei because he sort of looks like my dog, but that's for another video. Alright, so they're from the Johto region, and the thing that's different about how these legendaries are going to be released, how the beasts are going to be released as opposed to the birds, is that they're going to come out in waves, much like how they came out much like how the first generation birds came out. But by waves, I mean that every month there's going to be a new bird. So there will be a rotation, so to say. So the first rotation will be from August 31st to September 30th. And these are the ones that are going to come out. So Raikou is the electric type that's going to come out that's going to be available in the Americas. So in North, Central, and South America, we're going to get Raikou, which is a really cool, awesome electric type Pokemon. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you guys through a website the stats of the Pokemon. Then after that, we have Entei, who's a fire type legendary Pokemon, who's only going to be available in Europe and Africa. Now Entei is my favorite of the beasts, so I'm going to be excited for when he rotates to the United States. Then we have Suicune, who's the water type Pokemon. He's going to be available in the Asia and the Pacific region. Now, here's the thing. What does this mean? Well, if you guys remember, what was supposed to happen was that Mewtwo was supposed to come out. But I guess the raid system wasn't ready for that. So instead of Mewtwo coming out, we're going to have the legendary beast come out. Which, I mean, is a pretty good consolation prize in that from the videos I've seen about Mewtwo, doesn't really seem like Mewtwo is that strong of a Pokemon. But moving on. So now I'm going to talk to you guys about my thoughts on the legendary birds and how I thought they were like. So to begin with, I'm going to give you the cons first because that way we can get those out of the way. So the cons, I really thought that they were pretty underwhelming, the legendary birds, in that number one, they were not very hard to catch. Number two, they were not so rare. And number three, they were out for way too long in my opinion, because it was almost 2 months that they were out. So I don't know, it seemed pretty easy to catch them. Now, something else is that they weren't the strongest other than Lugia, and that Lugia is basically like the third strongest Pokemon out of the bunch. But like they're legendaries, and the other ones were like 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th down the line. So they weren't really that powerful Pokemon. But hey, at least they're out. And then in my opinion, Articuno should have had a buff. He should have been way stronger because he's almost not even like the god tier Pokemon. Like he's barely he's useful in that he's an ice Pokemon, but he's not as useful as other Pokemon. So, and also one of the negatives was that you had to be in basically populated areas in order to catch the legendaries, and that it took 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people for you to catch the legendaries. So that's another con that I wish that Niantic could look at and think about and fix. Alright, so now moving on to the positives. The positives are that, guys, come on, they're legendaries, so you're gonna want to have them. We all want to have them, and we all have tried our best to go and catch them. So I'm downtown, I'm in Manhattan, so they're all over the place and everybody's running around. But I'm from the Bronx, and honestly, I haven't caught one legendary in the Bronx because there's not a lot of people that play there. So I can understand how it would be hard for rural players to catch them. But hey, it doesn't matter. You guys gotta try your best. there was another positive is that they were spread out. They spread out the legendary releases. That's really good because it gave everybody a chance to catch the legendary that they wanted. They gave us a week. They gave us a week for each legendary, and then they even gave us more time with the added bonus. And another positive is that we all had a chance to catch them in that they were really easy to catch. They were around for a while, so we can't really complain. And my last positive is that the IV checking made it really fun for us to catch these legendaries, because when you catch a legendary, you're like, oh darn, let me check the IV. And at least for me, it was really fun to just catch as many legendaries as I could, and then check IVs real quick to see if I got the Pokemon that I wanted. So those are my thoughts on the legendaries, and how on the first set of legendaries, and whether or not and if they're good or not. So yeah. Okay guys, so we're back, and as promised, I was going to show you basically where the top legendary birds rank in PoGo. So if we look down, the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth best Pokemon is a legendary Lugia. Now Lugia I thought was really worth it because, as you can see, he's the fourth best Pokemon, and not only that, but click on him, see really quickly, he's also a tank. When you see with like where his defensive stats are, and that I'll see if I could get a better view. Well, it doesn't really show us here, but as you can see, Lugia, defensive tank. And this is exactly what you want in the Pokemon. Something that he specializes in one thing. Now, moving on, after Lugia, the next strongest bird was Zapdos. Now, Zapdos is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's the 9th strongest Pokemon in terms of CP. So that bodes really well for for his stats. But again, he's the 9th, so like that's really good. But he should be, in my opinion, all these guys should be top 5. But I guess that's just my opinion. Now, moving on. After Zapdos, we have Moltres. Again, he's even lower than Zapdos, but not by much. But hey, he's low. Moltres, he's a really good fire attacker, and which is great, but still, he needs some help. Now we're moving on to the last legendary bird, which is Articuno. Now if we look at Articuno, he's not even, for example, in the God tier. The God tier is basically Pokemon that are around 3,000 CP, but he doesn't hit 3,000. A perfect IV Articuno will not hit 3,000. A perfect IV Articuno will hit 2,933 CP, which is really depressing, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's why I said that they should definitely find a way to buff this guy. But you haven't yet. Hopefully they do. Now, I want us to look at the new Pokemon that are coming up. So the first Pokemon that we're gonna get is Raikou. Raikou is a Thunder Pokemon, and he's ranked 11 in attack, 28th in defense, and his stamina is 35. He's ranked 35th in stamina. So as you can see, he's the 11th attacker, so that makes him a pretty good Pokemon. He's definitely, I believe, he's the strongest legendary that's coming out. Moving on. Now my favorite. Now we have Entei. If we look at Entei is also a really good attacker. He's 17th attacker. His defense, he's 76, but where he really shines is his stamina. He's the 9th in terms of stamina. So that's really good, and his moves are awesome in that he has Overheat, and Overheat is a really strong fire move that everybody's gonna want to have on their Entei, which is awesome with the charge TMs that we can do. That we can just change it up. And the last Pokemon that we will get, the new beast, is Suicune. Thing about Suicune is that, again, much like Lugia, his attack isn't the strongest. He's ranked 85th in attack. His stamina isn't the strongest either, as he's ranked 18th. But where he shines is in his defense, which is ranked 13. So they all have. So I'm really looking forward to Suicune because his defense stat is really good. It's almost as good as Lugia. Let's go check Lugia for a second. So he's ranked 13th. Let's go see where Lugia is standing. Lugia. So let's see where Lugia is standing. Lugia is standing. One second, I'll find it. Lugia. Here we go. So Lugia is standing. He's the third strongest defender. So that's why Lugia is really useful. So guys, those are the legendaries that are gonna come up. This was just a little preview. This is some news for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is William for PoGo NYC signing out. I'll check you guys in a bit. Later.